Hi everyone. This is just a really brief presentation taking you guys over what phase 3 of our 1901 Postal Pensioners Shared Learning Project is going to look like. So I thought it'd be helpful actually first to sort of recap the different phases that go into this SLP. So the first phase, as you remember, was all about transcription of the death certificate and introducing you guys to your pensioners, essentially. Phase 2, which we were just finishing, was all about biographical research. Phase 3, the phase that's just about to commence, is all about doing research into the history of medicine. And then phase 4, which is the final phase, is all about writing up your blog. So in a nutshell, phase 3 is all about giving you guys the tools to be able to explore some primary source material relating to the history of medicine, but at the same time introducing you guys to some big themes in the history of medicine, the literature, that you then can relate back to the life of your pensioner. But not only that, these are skills that I hope you can bring forward into your own family history research after the SLP is finished. So what it's going to involve is there's going to be 4 weeks of online discussion groups led by me and also assisted by some other members of the Addressing Health team. Each week is going to focus on a specific theme. The first week is really going to be a general introduction and tutorial into using online resources. And before we meet, what you'll have to do is I'm going to circulate a pre-recorded lecture, much like this one. And at the end of that lecture, I'll have some research tasks that you guys might like to complete. This will primarily be stuff looking at online source material and thinking about some specific questions and how we can use the source material to answer these questions. So why are we doing this? And I've covered this a bit already, but the first thing is to provide you guys with an opportunity to learn some new online research skills. The second is to introduce you guys to some basic themes and big questions in the history of medicine. And in terms of this SLP, really I want to use this opportunity for you guys to reflect on how these themes and the research you undertake connect back to the life of your pensioner. And then this leads directly onto phase 4, and it will help you write up your blog and make your blog, I think, a more nuanced piece and make it a richer piece of writing. And so another question, which I realised I should probably answer at this stage, is will I have to hand anything in? Because I realised this SLP so far, there's been a lot of focus on handing in pieces of work, so handing in spreadsheets or handing in forms. And obviously phase 4 will be about handing in writing. So this phase is specifically not about that. It's all about exploration and it's about equipping you guys with skills. But saying that, you may want to keep notes purely for your own benefit, because some of this research might end up being written up in your blog. So there's a thing I have to say here. So as a historian of medicine, there have definitely been times where I have been, gotten a bit upset when I've been doing my research and have found it difficult to do. And I want to give you guys the opportunity to not participate in this phase if you don't want to, because I realize the history of medicine is intensely personal, right? We all, have dealt with death and illness in our lives, and you might not want to deal with that as part of this SLP, and that is totally fine. So there is no pressure to participate, and if you don't participate in this phase, it doesn't mean you can't participate in phase 4, which is the writing up of your blog. However, if you do want to pause your participation until phase 4 begins, I'll ask you to please fill in this form. I will circulate slides after this so you guys can have this link. And just to say, this form also has an option for exiting the shared learning project at this phase as well, so the end of phase 2. If you don't want to write up your blog, that's fine. Obviously, we would like you to, but again, no pressure. I realize everyone has different time commitments and so on. So when will it start? So the discussion groups are going to begin the week commencing the 8th of March. So I'm going to give everyone a bit of a break after handing in their life story forms. This will also allow me time to record the lectures and work out the content a bit more. So shortly I'll be doing my usual email of circulating a form for you guys to indicate your availability for weekly meetups. And at this stage, the groups are going to stay the same. So they're going to stay, Southwest England, Northern Ireland, Scotland. However, if you cannot make your group's time, the regular time slot, you do have the option of participating in another discussion. So, if you can't make the England meetup, for example, you can join the Scotland meetup. However, obviously be aware that, if we're doing the Scotland meetup, we will be talking about themes relating to the history of Scottish medicine, perhaps rather than English medicine, but still, there'll be lots of opportunity to learn nevertheless. Okay, so that's about it. Thank you guys all for listening. And I will now be taking questions, I imagine, at the end of this. So thank you all so much, and yes, goodbye.